All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. And today I have a special pair of headphones, the ones that I personally use. Not the best ones in the world, but I do love them for what they do, especially for the price tag. So right here we have the Oneplus Nord Buds 2. I had the older model, which didn't have noise cancellation, it didn't have transparency mode, but they rectified those wrongs by placing them inside of this for a whopping $20 more. So I'm gonna let you know what you get real fast before we dive right into this video. So it has OnePlus Fast Pair, which basically you open up the case and put it in the sync mode and it allows you to sync. The Hey Melody app allows you to be able to actually sync these with non-Android devices, or well, you can sync it with Apple, but Android devices more so, to actually change the settings. It has about 10-meter range, so that's about 32.9 feet or so in terms of Bluetooth language. The codecs are AAC and SBC. Like I said, active noise cancellation, transparency mode. The ANC def is about 25 dB for those that want to know. IP55 rated, so guess what? You got to go running in the rain, sweat and water resistance, you do have it there. Now, what I'm also going to say, and this is the more important part, 5 hours with ANC on, you have 7 hours of ANC off, so it does give you a total of 36 hours with the case and the earbuds, or it'll give you a total of 27 if you're using ANC itself. In addition to that, the phone calls is a little bit different. 3.5 hours on phone calls, 4 hours with ANC off. So again, the phone calls are always going to be less than just listening time because it does require more for the earbuds to work themselves out, but that's perfectly fine. 10 minutes will give you about a 5-hour charge. That's pretty good. And outside of that, they work great. I can't complain about them. And like I always said to people, sometimes you just don't want to spend tons of money in order to get a decent product. Sometimes you just want something that's actually affordable. Now, this is the last thing I want to say before we dive right into this video. And just so you guys know, there will be timestamps inside. 12.4 millimeter drivers, so that's not bad at all. Obviously, it has the USB-C right here in the back, as you can see right there. And they did change the design up. So with that being said, pretty good headset. Let's get right into this review and talk about, is it worth purchasing? So let me tell you guys right now, these are the primary buds that I use. Now, I do have a secondary pair of buds that I normally use, and they are the Life Note, I believe, 3 Eyes. Is that what these are? Yeah, Life Dot 3 Eyes. These are also headphones that I normally use, but these are much more comfortable, lightweight, nice charge, USB-C, no wireless charging or anything like that, but we're going to talk about that in a moment, specifications. But right now, let me just show you how they look. Now, first off, not much comes inside the box outside of the charger. It does come with some extra rubber tips. I believe there's some type of instructions or something. Let me just pull that out real fast just to show you. Honestly, it's not even worth it, but I'll do it anyway for video purposes. So I did take everything out. The rubber tips are in here. Comes with a little silly sticker right here. I like that little funny stuff. And this is the USB right here. So it's USB-A to USB-C. Not bad. I actually like this. You know what's funny? I never use this cord. So I'm thinking about using a cord for my computer whenever I want to plug something up to it, so I don't have to worry about them 10-foot cords that I normally have. But that's pretty much it. Nothing really comes inside of it. But what's special about these are the buds themselves. I like them. And you're just going to try to do this video a little bit differently than I normally do. But I have no structure right now, no real specifications, anything like that. But I'll get to that in the next section. So let me just show you how they look. So you do have USB-C right here. I do not believe these are wireless charging. No, they should not wireless charge. But either way, I don't really care about that feature. For me, I have multiple headphones. So I have one for the Steam Deck. I had one for the Switch. I had one for the PC because my PC does have Bluetooth. I have a dongle in it. I have one for the phone. I have one for a tablet. I know it sounds like a lot, but I've been on this channel for over 2 years. So I'm going to have a lot of headsets. Some I keep, some I don't. And in this situation, let's just take a look at them. I love the way these buds look. And in case you're wondering about the little white right here, that's how it's detailed. So let me just flip this over. See the white specks, little dots? They added that little aesthetic. I think that's a pretty cool feature. The case is almost identical. All right, my bad, guys. I had to actually click off the video for a moment. But right here, if you look at the case, it's almost identical to the old one. Unfortunately, I don't have the old headset. I sold that one because I got the new one, so I didn't really need both. And this has active noise cancellation and what is it called? Transparency mode with some other features. Right here, this is the earbuds themselves. And personally, I like the rubber tips. Let me kind of get that in view for you guys. See how this is? That little grooves that you see here is actually the rubber tip itself. If I take that off, it looks entirely different. So it's very good for catching ear dirt and things like that. So, you know, the physical design for the most part has been exactly the same as it's always been since, I don't know if the other model came out last year or not, but these are brand spanking new. Probably came out in the last few months around the time of the Nord N30. So not bad design, very, very lightweight for people. Put it this way, my wife has small ears, and for her, she's actually able to put these in her ear, and she says they fit just fine, though she still prefers her AirPods because, you know, some people just don't like the rubber tips. But I actually think these are pretty good. They're very lightweight. I was able to put this on with different hats, didn't fall out of my ear, and this, even though the stem is pretty short, it's thick enough where it's just easy to hold. A lot of times you get headphones, the stems are very, I'm not gonna say aerodynamic, but it's like this weird cone shape where it could slip out of your hand, like AirPods or different type of Anchor headphones. It really depends, but I love this design. And this button right here is not physical. It is a touch sensor button, which allows you to answer, hang up calls, pause music, amongst other things. But, you know, outside of that, you can't go wrong with this particular headset. So with that being said, let's go over to see how to sync it in real time, which I'm going to show you guys 2 ways to do that. So guys, real fast, the syncing process for this device is very, very simple. All you got to do is flip the lid, hold the button in the back for a couple seconds, and this is going to blink white. That will automatically put it in sync mode. You do not have to remove the buds from the actual case. And like always, you just unlock your phone. Now, OnePlus does allow you to do it 2 ways. Normally, this will pop up in the front of the screen, but for whatever reason, it doesn't want to do that today. Maybe because there's no network on this phone. That's probably the reason. So we'll just do it the traditional way. Go to settings. We're going to go to Bluetooth right here. It's going to pop up OnePlus Nord Buds 2, and we're going to tap it. Just press yes to allow it to do call logs and whatnot. And a lot of times, some of these headphones can read your call logs. Now, there is also an extra feature for the OnePlus devices, in case you're wondering, and I want to show that to you. Right here, if you tap the eye, it actually allows you to see extra settings. So you can go to earbud functions, and let me just go ahead and press allow for this right here, because I did factory restore the phone. I'm actually going to sell it. This is the extra settings for the OnePlus. Now, keep in mind, there's no network. Normally, it would show a picture of the buds. The reason it's having an issue is because, oh, here we go. It technically has just the OnePlus software already built into it. For Android users that are non-OnePlus users, there's an application, I believe, that you can use that allows you to change settings. But for actual OnePlus users, it's already built in, similar to AirPods being built into what's it called, Apple software, and also similar to Samsung Buds being built into the Samsung software. It's just how it works. Sometimes some features will and won't work properly. It's nothing you can really do about that, but it is what it is. So as you can see, the case is charged, the earbuds are charged. Even though I'm using a Samsung device to record, that's what I'm using, the A54 5G for my primary, I am still using OnePlus Buds because I just like the way they feel. So you have the option between noise cancellation. I have to take it out in order to switch it. Transparency mode, right now it's off because they're inside the case. But if I take them both out of my ear, put them both in my ear, it'll switch over to noise cancellation or transparency, whatever one I'm currently using. You have your option between different EQs that you see right here. So you can make the bass stronger, bass wave, which is a really cool feature. You can add an equalizer to the headset itself. So when you're just listening to music in general, YouTube or whatever, it's going to play at a higher octave based on whatever equalizer you want it to be. And that's a very cool feature. That's why I say if you decide to buy this phone straight out from like OnePlus, it'll cost you like $299, but it comes with a pair of buds for free. Versus I bought mine on Amazon for like $60, $50, $60, I forget. That's the regular price. I got my phone for $89 under a new line. So technically I'm not gonna say I really saved, I did save a couple dollars, but now the phone actually dropped in price. This phone, the N30 5G, is actually $19.99 as a new line for Metro by T-Mobile. And it's free for porting. So they did lower the price from $89 originally, which they should have had it that high in the first place. So anywho, If you go over here to camera related settings, you have the option to use like a control camera with stylus. I didn't even know they had a stylus for this particular phone, but it is what it is. You have Find My Earbuds, which it'll actually make a beeping sound, but for right now, I don't really want to do that. Please don't make me do it. All right, here we go. So now I can press the back button. You have firmware updates. Everything's up to date. I normally do auto firmware updates, but the problem, like I said before, is that since I'm using a Samsung device, updating it is going to be a little bit different because all the software is built into Oneplus devices. And I will say one thing before I skip off and leave this section. Actually, matter of fact, let me see if I can do it. Because a lot of times you're actually able to flip the lid for this. And normally it shows, here we are. So it shows your earbuds down here. And normally if you put them in sync mode and then flip the lid open, the Oneplus software will pop up just like AirPods and ask you, do you want to sync it? That's what it didn't do when I tried to, I actually had to re-record this part because I tried to do that and the phone made me out to be a liar. So I said, you know what, forget it. I'll just do the regular sync. And now it wants to pop up all of a sudden. But like I said before, very cool phone, very cool headset. They go very well together. I don't think you're going to have any issues, but nevertheless, we're going to go over to the music section so you can hear, well, you won't be able to hear it, but I'm going to play some music in real time so that you guys can so I can give you like an assessment of how it sounds. So guys, right here, I am screen recording and this is a double section. So the first part right here, you're listening to how this headset is going to sound. If I'm using it for recording, let's say I'm talking outside, I'm doing phone calls, this is what you're going to hear. Now, please do understand that the sound profile is going to change depending on where you are. Now, I'm in a hollow room where my voice is echoing. I can hear my echo right now. And the reason I'm doing that in this particular room, excuse me, had to belch, is because I want you to understand that in different conditions, how well the microphones actually hold out. Normally when you hear earbud reviews for some people, they'll let you know basic phone calls or they'll do like some type of crowd noise in the background. But sometimes you're in the office, sometimes you only use the headset simply to just walk to point A to point B. You might be in a gym in different locations. So with that being said, you might end up in a quiet location, but that has an echo or a huge echo, and that's how it's going to sound right here. Now, this also doubles down to the second part. As you can see, I'm in music. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is play some music that I personally own. And what I mean by that is something that I made to give you guys an idea of how this sounds. Now, just so you know, I've been using these headphones for well over 2 weeks. I use them for my everyday. This is my primary headset, the Nord Buds 2. I love the way they feel. They're lightweight. They don't give me ear aches. I don't have any of those issues. Now, with that being said, I will show you guys in a section later how it looks in my ears so you can understand where I'm coming from. But I'm going to play something for you. And again, I don't know if this is going to pick up the sounds from the inside. It might not. I'm not too sure. But I'm going to play something anyway just to give you an idea of how good it sounds inside the air. This is something I made like 100 years ago. Like we're talking like when I first found out about FL Studio. I wasn't even married back then. Bass is fire. Has some bass. All right, let me say this to you also. When I give you the synopsis about how I feel about this is from me listening to professional music, not my own stuff. This is just for YouTube so they don't copyright this video. Now, what I'll also say is that with a lot of headphones, I forgot I could put my face right here. Totally forgot about that. But anyway, let me put that to the side right here. Let me go to the equalizer so you can see it. So as you can see, I didn't mess with any of the equalizers. Everything that you're seeing, I'm setting up this A54 again for the first time. So everything is normal. Dolby Atmos isn't on, nothing is on. All the settings are on bare bones, basic, generic. So the bass that I'm describing is the headset itself. Also keep in mind that the noise cancellation is also in my ear, so I'm speaking a little loud. I do apologize for that. But I'm gonna play a little bit more so you can get an idea of just the clarity of how good these headphones sound. I mean, it's very clear. It's very, very clear. Let me play something else for you guys. It's very, very clear. Now that grainy sound, I don't know if you guys can hear this, so I'll describe it. That grainy sound that I hear, the song was made that way on purpose. There's a feature on FL Studio where there's a particular instrument where it allows you, when you hold the button, it allows that grainy sound where you can actually hear it. And I did that purposely for that song. So even though I didn't really play much music, I just wanted to give you a quick sound profile. I like this headset a lot, and let me tell you why. Now, obviously, they're not better than the Beats Studio Buds Fit. It's not better than a lot of headphones, but it's right there. These are what these remind me a lot of the Galaxy Buds, like the Galaxy Bud 2s. What I mean by that is they don't have in-ear detection, like you just put it in your ear and they work, but the clarity and quality of sound is very, 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 very good. It's like, it's not the jack of all trades. It doesn't necessarily beat out other companies, but what this headset does is that it just has a nice tone to anything that you listen to. It's like everything is balanced properly. Like some headphones might have a higher bass profile. Other headphones might have a better sound profile. So if you're listening to words coming out of people's mouths, it may sound a little grainy on certain headphones, or it might sound clearer and louder when it comes to vocals. This does a very good job of just having everything just solid across the board. So if I listen to AC/DC, let me give you an example of some of the songs that I listen to, not for this review, but just in general. So I want to go ahead to other right here, right? And this guy right here, Falling in Reverse, the group, Voices in My Head, Zombified. I listen to, just for video purpose, Did My Time, Coming Undone by Korn. I have Mario Judah right here. A couple other artists, Nirvana. One of my favorite go-to songs is Giving Up for Linkin Park. And normally I would play that for you guys, but again, copyright reasons. The vocals of the lead singer, which passed away, it's unfortunate, but he passed away many, many years ago. The vocals come out perfectly. You know how sometimes when you hear screaming in a headset, it makes like a crackle noise, or it's uneven and it doesn't quite, it might hurt your head depending on the type of headphones that you have in, because they're kind of cheap. This does a very good job of balancing sounds overall. Even during phone calls, it sounds very, very clear. At least according to my wife, it sounds very, very clear. Now, what I will say, is I'll add phone calls into this also. What I will say is that with phone calls, if you're outside and the wind is blowing, there's nothing you can do about it. The person's not going to be able to hear you. Like I ride an electric scooter to work. I ride in rain. I ride in different inclement weather. If it's a beautiful day outside, if you're going a certain speed, 14, 15, 18 miles an hour, you're not really going to be able to hear the person. I would say about wind speeds around 10 miles an hour or so and under, my wife was able to hear me comfortably without having me, repeat myself and say, what you say. So it really depends on the activity that you're doing. But like I said before, I love the way these headphones are. I love the way they feel. I love the way they look. On the last section, I'm going to do feel and if the headset is actually worth it. So again, I want to try to do things a little bit differently for you guys so you have an idea of where I'm coming from. But like I said before, love the headset. It works very, very well. When it comes to highs and mids and things like that, they sound great in my opinion. Now, I know some of you guys use equalizers and that'll work just fine too. Personally, I don't use an equalizer all the time. If I use a Samsung device, I don't touch an equalizer. Maybe a bass boost, depending on how I'm feeling, but that's technically equalizer. But I don't really go through the process of switching it myself. I use the pre-existing profiles. If I'm using, what's the app called? Power Amp, I might turn up the bass to about 20% or 30% just to show how good the headphones are, and these still handle everything. So even if I change the tone, change the bass, these headphones adjust according to whatever sound profile that I want. And I know a lot of you guys, even though you get the headphones out of the box, you may want more bass than what the headset already offers. And those equalizers do a very, very good job of doing that. And I think you'll love the headset, especially for a $60 headset. $59 is a regular price. The original ones were $40. So don't confuse this one with the Nord Buds, the original model. This is the Nord Bud 2s. And I'm telling you, you'll love these headphones if you purchase them. The only problem is you got to wait for them to be ordered. And I understand some people don't have patience. But for me, I have so many earbuds waiting a couple days. Actually, I'm lying. I actually got it next day shipping. So I didn't have any patience either. But let's go ahead and close this video off and see, is this actually worth purchasing? All right, guys, so like I said before, this is a double section. I'm going to show you the earbuds. Don't mind that huge pimple on my head. My wife will get it later. This right here is how the earbud looks inside of the ear. Very comfortable. So if you take them out, very simplistic, they look nice, slip them right in as is. That's it. They're safely in there. Now I twist it and tuck because I want to make sure that no noise or no air really comes into your ear, because when the noise cancellation comes on, I'm going to be honest with you, you'll feel a suction, but the suction isn't as strong as Beats Studio Buds. It's not as strong as other earbuds, which isn't a big deal to me because I didn't expect it to be. And other headphones like the Beats sometimes give me a headache with the suction because I have to get accustomed to it every time I put it inside of my ear. And because I review so many products, you know, I forget the feeling sometime, and it gives me quite, you know, headaches at times. These don't do that at all. They sound good, they feel good. Transparency mode is pretty decent. We're good to go. So this is what I want to do for you guys. I want to flip this camera so that we can look at the buds. All right, so right here, we're back to the regular part of the video. Are these actually worth purchasing? So let me tell you this, yes, they are 100% worth purchasing. For you guys that skipped to this part, the last part of the video, I'm going to explain why. You have earbuds that have a very decent battery life, about 3.5 hours or so in talk time. If you're using noise cancellation and things like that, in the beginning of the video, that was the specification. So click on that part if you want to see that. Fast charging, they have that feature. They don't have in-ear detection. I don't think that's a deal breaker for many people. Personally, I like taking my earbud out. It automatically connects. And whether I take it out of my ear or put it back in my ear, it still plays. That's what I like, because with in-ear detection, for some people, if it moves just a little bit, you have smaller ears or something, it'll stop playing the song, or one ear will disconnect, and that could be, you know, a pain in the ass, just being honest with you here. And there's no other way to really reword that. I'm just spitballing here. But outside of that, everything about this headset works pretty good. I love it. Now they're in my ear. I'm actually talking in these earbuds right now. That's why you can't see them inside the case, but I just flipped the case open. Very good headphones. They work well, they sound good. I think the call quality is pretty decent. The comfortability for having them in your ears for many hours feels great. There's really nothing to not like about it. The only downside I can say is that you have to download the Hey Melody app in order to use these with non-OnePlus devices if you want to change the settings. If you don't care, you're good to go. OnePlus users, all your software is automatically installed, like I showed you earlier in the video, so you're good to go. Apple users, guess what? You just go to the Bluetooth settings and click on it, and you will sync the headset. Though what I will say is, realistically, these are better for OnePlus users, though they are universally can be used by anybody. More so better for Android than it is on the Apple side. But again, for $60, most headsets do give you these features for $60. The difference is that they're always lacking in some area, like call quality, or they're always lacking in volume. These do an amazing job all around the board. And because the noise cancellation is just right, in my opinion, when I'm outside on my scooter, different things, I can still hear things going on. But if I choose to turn up the music, it does drown out everything in the background nicely. But just be careful, because you can get mugged, or if you're on a train, you know, you should always pay attention to your surroundings based on the subway stop or wherever you're going. But yes, I do think they're a major yes. Buy them, buy them, buy them. I think you'll like them. I love them personally. Like I said, this is my go-to. I have Galaxy Bud 2s. I have Galaxy Bud Pros. I have AirPods. I have all these other earbuds that technically are better than these. But sometimes you just want something that feels right. It does what you want it to do. It doesn't break your pockets. If it breaks, it's easy to replace. Not everybody wants to keep buying $200 headphones every time they lose it. It's just expensive, you know? And these are $60 regular price, not on sale. So you know the sale price will probably drop about $20, $30 on Amazon, or maybe $15 or something like that. Maybe not 30, but they will drop in price eventually for sales. And you'll be making a killing by buying them. Anyway, like and subscribe like always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.